All right, we're calling this meeting to order. It is now 6:31 PM. Roll call.
I'm here.
Jim,
Here.
Mark, Gary,
Yes.
Tim,
Here.
Alan, Matt.
Here.
Approval of the agenda. Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. Public forum, persons asking to speak to board, reasonable amount of time not to exceed 5 minutes. Shawnee. Name and address, please.
Oh, Shawnee Schultz, 175 Stager Street. Thank you for allowing me to speak. So I'm here obviously for the 131 Dearborn Street. Just read something really quickly. If I can get it. So the accessory structures on the property where they're recently bought in and assembled without permission and without primary residence structure being present, container used as storage are not allowed in the village as per ordinance. Washara County prohibits containers, trailers as storage in all areas of the county. 2 containers with fabric roof are also not allowed as they exceed 18 feet. Height limit, the accessory building zone language is this. None of that has been moved. There was an existing building on the property before you purchased it and allowed to stay. However, a lean-to building was built recently without approval and no inspections or permits were issued. To keep this addition, you must provide plans and permits to be issued for the work to the existing building. Since this structure here was before the purchase, you purchased it, approval for the lean-to should be approved by the zoning committee before any use. You can remove the lean-to is also your option. It's still there. I don't know if he applied or not. Therefore, I'm requesting you to remove all containers from the property, remove all logs and debris brought into the property without authorization by May 1st. Any debris, buildings, or other non-residential use must immediately cease under penalties authorized by the village municipal code. It is now the 19th of May, and we have not seen anything other than he is not sawing wood. So I figured that from May 1st to today, which was the 19th, the minimum he could have been fined is $475. The maximum he could have been fined as of today is $19,000. We have woodchucks in our yard, which I believe Matt has seen firsthand. They're eating part of the deck. I'm afraid that if we board up part of the shed, which they are burrowing under, they'll go to the deck. We have small dogs, that's where our dogs go. I don't want that. It's a double-edged sword as far as this assessment for property. I, of course, don't want to pay any more money, but because of the property behind me, I do not want my property assessed less than what it needs to be because it's still an investment to me. I have been in business across the street and where the little barber shop was since 1999. 75% of all my business is out of town, which means that it's not a really good look when people that either from my salon turn around here and have commented on the pile of crap that's back behind our house, even though they don't know I live there. So I would like to kind of know what the plan is as far as you've given him a deadline. He has not done anything in good faith or nothing. He hasn't moved a single thing other than the wood that he is selling now in front of his other building. But the rest of the stuff he tore down and just left there. So I would like to know what the board plans to do with that and how much more patient, which we were given from John Lust, said this is a long process. And I talked to him on the 4th of May, and he was actually pretty surprised and nonchalant about the whole thing, because I asked him, well, who fines? Does the village? Does Kyle? How does this work? And he said, well, I guess I gotta talk to Kyle. And this was already the 4th. This is his job. I don't do a consultation and tell clients how much it's gonna be and then not show up for the appointment. So I understand that there's lots of things that happen as far as business-wise, and he's probably a very busy man, but so am I. I'm a busy person. I own my own business. So I would like to know what the board was going to do with the property behind us.
I guess right now at this point, Shawnee, I just got back here. I was gone for a couple weeks and stuff, and I called John on my way back to figure out what was going on, because I had heard that nothing was going on. I need to get with John, and I guess what I'm wondering, would it be okay if I set up an appointment with all of you, say sometime middle of next week? That'll give me a few minutes to try and get with him and try and figure out where we're at, because we've got a few situations that we're dealing with. So I understand that this is becoming a pain for you folks, and I apologize that it's taken as long as it has. Some of it is because it's, you know, the way the rules are set up, we have to go through certain processes, but I would like to try and get this moved along a little quicker myself, because it's just taking way too long. So if you guys could allow me just till the middle of next week, if that's okay, I will set something up and you can all come down and we'll get this resolved, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's would be fine.
Okay.
My hours though at the salon are noon to 8.
Okay.
Monday through Friday.
So morning?
Or Tuesday through Friday, yes.
Would
I can
mornings
meet in the
work?
morning before noon.
What about you folks, Sue and,
I'll make time.
okay, so if I set something,
He had 3 months.
so if I set something
And all
up,
he did was dismantle the wood sale with Diddy, moved that to the old pharmacy
yeah,
gift shop, and that was it, and he stopped cutting wood. The woodchucks, as she said, I sit on my back deck and watch the woodchucks chase rabbits outside my garden and out of my garden. It's crazy.
so if I set something up in the morning, you'd be able to make it?
I'll make it
Okay.
happen, I'll be there.
I've got all your phone numbers and everything, so.
My other concern is that he's moving one pile of crap to another side of the street.
I kind of noticed, and that was something that I want to try and figure out
Right.
here, because it seems like people are kind of pushing the limits, and it's kind of getting old, so, all right?
Yeah.
So if you can give me just that much, like I
Yeah.
said, I apologize, I was gone, and
I get it.
I will
Everybody
get
needs
this worked out. So.
Houseboat sounds great, so,
All right, well, thank you.
yep.
Did you have anything else you wanted? Did you want, you're
I
good?
already threw it out there.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, so then we're gonna move on. So that was a public forum. Approval of the minutes, regular board meeting of April 21st, 2025.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved. Reports. Clerk, forthcoming events and correspondence.
I don't have anything.
President's forthcoming events and correspondence. Down a couple lines here in the finance, personnel and insurance. Dylan Gray, who served on the board for a couple of years, has put in his resignation. And I wanna put it out there for people that may be interested in joining the village board, where we have an open spot. And if you would like to be a part of the board, if you could call Becky and maybe give your name and phone number. I'd like to sit down and talk with whoever's interested and see if I can find somebody else that can help us do some great things in this village. I wanna see this move forward, so anybody that's willing to help out, it would be wonderful. Other than that, I think that's all I have at the moment. So then we'll move on to finance, personnel and insurance. Ellen is not here at the moment, so I guess I will do this one. Approval of bills listed for payment and financial reports. So we got general fund checks number 115600 through,
Wow.
okay, we got a bunch here. Through 115682 in the amount of $260,397.51. Water fund, we have checks number 62006135 through 62006160 in the amount of $15,444.08. Sewer fund, checks number 63006973 through 63007000 in the amount of $56,162.55. Payroll, we have checks number 460 through 833 and 463 through 848 in the amount of $58,535.44 for a grand total of all the funds, $539,538.58.
Motion to approve.
I'll second that too.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. Oh. All right, consider act on increasing the board approval amount for bills from 1,000 to 2,500 and from 100 to 500 for department approvals.
So that means that department heads can approve up to $500 in purchases without having a board member's approval? Is that what you're looking at?
I believe that's what it is.
Anything over $500 would need one board member's signature and approval. And then anything over 2,500 would need the full board approval. Why not just raise it to $1,000 per department head? And then anything over 2,500 has full board approval.
Well, because between 1,000 and 2,500 needs full board approval anyway.
Just raise it all up. Bump it up. You can't get anything for anything nowadays.
No, walking to Menards is $2,000.
I mean, as long as it's already budgeted money, I guess I don't really see where the
Okay.
problem is.
Well, back
I
in the
guess
younger days, we had a problem.
Why?
They'd walk over to the hardware store in town and just buy what they wanted.
Well, that's kind of what they're doing here, though. I mean, but it's budgeted money, so
Yeah, it wasn't.
it's not like
that kind of
they're
sell.
pulling money out of the general fund from something else to go spend it. So this is already money that they've had board approved for their budgets to take care of stuff. And like they're saying, it's hard to get anything done for $100 nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
Not if you go to A's.
So I
They
guess.
did go to Ace.
When was the last time that this was changed?
It's been this way forever since I've been here.
So adjusted for inflation, it's probably right on the money where it was back then, so.
Well, in radios for $55, now it's $179.
Motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved. Consider act on approval of Dylan Gray's board resignation letter.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved. Consider act on appointing Matt Hager to Redgranite Library Board, replacing Dylan Gray's position.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved. Library, Jeannie, monthly update.
Well, the parking lot, but I'll leave that to Jim to discuss further. We're getting ready for our summer programming. Before you have what we worked out last Monday on the county funding with the West Shore County Library Services Committee. The pitch was for an increase of 4.41% for each library. It turned out that the county just wants a 2% as negotiated from the Act 420 payments. So our increase, as you can see, is similar to what it was last year. This contract, again, is through 2026. Then it gets renegotiated, so we're going to start renegotiating that contract at the end of this year. So that's kind of where we're at there. You can see the comparison of other libraries. We can drill down the big increase you may see in there. That's part of this contract negotiation that doesn't quite measure out to a library like Redgranite. So that's what I'm fighting for, is our village. Then you can see the handouts of some of the programming, some of our print that's going out to various places, tabletops, media around town. People are excited to come back to our programming, so we're excited to get that started up. So these were things that were asked from the community. Then it's our reading programs kicking up. Passport through Winnifox, that's going to be starting up. There's a little bit more, but I just didn't have enough prepared for you. We're trying to do a lot of home delivery because access to the building is somewhat limited with people. So that's kind of what we're doing. And we've been cataloging and doing a lot of donations for our book sales. If you have any questions.
What caused the 28% increase for Plainfield?
Yeah, that drill down takes some real discussion. I'm not happy about it. Coloma got a huge increase last year. Whenever a building has construction or their circulation goes down, they negotiate an increase in that, or that's the way the contract was written. I'm not sure if that timing will fall for us, because whatever we negotiate right now is 2 years out. So. Anyway, but I foresee our cert to just go right back up. We've got a little bump right here. So, but my point is, even though we're really high on the whole library system, the books going out, the people coming in the door, soiling the carpet, whatever you want to call it, is still the same as a library that has rural funding increases. So, anyway, I'd be happy to really talk more about that, so you get more aware. But anyway, so that's that. On the brighter side, the parking lot, I know, is going to be really, really great when it's done. People are really excited about using it. The market's going to look great there. We've got a lot of new vendors coming in, a lot of excitement generated for that. We have programs every time that we have a market, so that will coincide with our mission statement and everything that we're doing.
Do you have a sinkhole or something in the parking lot?
Yeah, I'm not sure how much of the garden, it's pretty bad. I mean, your dad stopped by this morning.
Did you lose any
Can't
stray
keep him in
cats?
bed.
Did you lose any stray cats in the sinkhole?
We were worried about children. A kindergarten group wants to come and visit and stuff soon, so we're trying to figure out how we can make that happen.
All good then? All right, thank you, Jeannie. Machinery, garbage, ordinances, Gary.
Real quick, Jim, you got anything this month?
far as the machinery, the flail mower, I picked that up 2 weeks ago. We ordered in December, it finally came in, so I went and picked it up, and that's sitting at the shop. If I had time, I would have brought it down here tonight so you all could have seen it. I guess, as far as machinery, that skid steer has been an awesome machine to have around here. We got over 60 hours on it already, and we use it just about for everything that we can, and saves a lot of time from running back and forth with the tractor to do odd jobs here and there. So thank you very much for making that part of the equipment for the village. That's all I have for the update.
Thanks, Jim.
You're welcome.
There's nothing on municipal buildings, so we're gonna move to Parks and Cemetery. Gary, again.
Okay, got an update on the parks?
So we've been working on that pickleball court. He came Friday to start coating it. There's 3 layers of coating on there. First layer is black, and then the colors go over the top of the black. And we've worked on it all weekend long, and today it got finished. The lines are down, everything's done. We're waiting for the fence company to come and finish the fence. As soon as this weather straightens out now, we hauled in 20 loads of free topsoil from Tom Sobieski. Got it off his land, and they ordered us, and we hauled it in, so we have 20 loads of topsoil that we have there, and we're gonna get that spread around and get it seeded and covered, and hopefully that's it. Well, we'll probably put in a parking lot, but that can be done later on. But as far as the pickleball court, as far as the coating and everything, it's done. Everybody please stay off from it. It's fenced off. They'll be making signs for no skating, roller skates, roller blades, bicycles, because they'll destroy it. So I'm in the process of getting some signs made from the county that what we're going to need to keep it safe. So, I guess we'll be talking about estimates here on the shelters. One thing that I did notice on the shelter, Willow Park is the same issue. It's sinking. I don't know who. It seems like all we do is clean up everybody else's mess. Whenever you dig something up, there's nothing but junk underneath. And the library parking lot is a perfect example. They paid right over a tree stump, 24 inches around. They paid right over the top of it.
Wow.
So that's what we find, and it just takes money, time to get that stuff done and get it corrected. And once it's corrected, it's going to be a very long time before anything ever has to be done again.
No, I appreciate your efforts on doing it right.
Thank you. So that's all I have for an update.
Okay. Well, number 2, discuss, consider, act on bathrooms at Veterans Park.
I guess I'm not quite sure what that one is about. Austin has been working his butt off. We completely gutted out both bathrooms, painted them. Austin painted them, painted the floor. We put in all new toilets because they were bad. We put in, we're working on today, and I think they might finish up tomorrow. We're putting in new plastic dividers. They were all beat, rotted out, you name it. They were bad.
Yeah.
So we put in new lighting. So we'll have that up and running before Friday. So they'll be ready for Memorial Day.
All right, thank
So
you.
if that's what that was about, I don't know if there's something different on that, I don't know.
All right, thank you, Jim. A couple more here. Discuss, consider, act on approval of estimates for Veterans Park shelter repairs.
I got 2 estimates. I want to try to get 3. I'm trying to find the third guy. The first one was $15,000. He would be tearing all the sidewalks out in the front, digging underneath, and pushing up the floor and concreting it in underneath there with pylons or whatever. The second estimate is from SureDry for $27,000. They don't remove any of the sidewalks. They go in, they bore holes and put pylons down, and then they pour whatever to push up the black or the concrete up where it needs to belong, where it needs to be. So there's quite, I mean, you know, so I'm gonna get one more estimate and we'll see if we can find something in the middle or whatever. But, that's what it's gonna end up costing, and like I told you before, we have the same problem at Little, it's sinking. That's why all the concrete is busted on the outside. When you go in the bathrooms, you'll see it settled this much in the inside wall.
Wow.
So, so that's what we're looking at, basically in a nutshell for fixing that building. I will get another estimate for the next meeting, and I haven't found the guy yet, and we can go from there.
Jim?
I'm almost sure, I mean, I can get an estimate on replacing that building, but yeah, I bet you $100 bill. You're talking 90,000 to replace that building.
Give us a reference point, see if you can get a price
On,
on replacing the building cost.
okay.
That way we have a reference cost to replace or fix.
I can do that. Anybody have any recommendations on the board who would do such a thing like that, block?
Well, it was
See, the
all-
thing with that building, it's all metal framing, all metal, you know, and it's on pylons. That's fine. The building itself isn't the rough.
The footings are good,
It's, so when they poured the concrete and then they laid the block on top, the walls. And that's what's given away.
That's all volunteer work when they put them up.
So what it is when the amount of concrete that we did take out last year, it was all topsoil underneath there, they didn't put no base underneath it. That's, I'm sure what it all is. So, but the structure itself is perfect. It's just the block walls that are sitting on the concrete is what's going away.
Motion to table till next month.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we're
Number 4, discuss, consider act on approval of pickleball donors, employees, and board members appreciation catered lunch at Willow Creek Park on Saturday, May 31st, 2025 at 12 p.m. I'm not sure which gym that is.
That was my fault, I looked at the wrong calendar, it would be June 1st, which would be a Sunday, because on a Saturday, I'm sure people have graduations or certain things like that, so we want to shoot for June 1st. I'll have Krista call Moose for catering in, and we just would have it dropped off, we won't have them standing there or anything like that. So I guess tonight, before we leave, if you approve this, of course, if you could give me a number, who would be coming in your family? So we can tell Moose how many people will be there. So it'll be the employees, the board members, and all the donators.
Would it be the donators, like the people that donated to Vets Park, like trees and
No,
park benches? and
no,
things?
this is just for the pickleball.
They'll be excluded, so it's
Yes,
just pickleball?
just pickleball people,
Okay.
because they donated over 54,000 already,
Wow.
and counting. And so we need to do something like that for them. So what it is gonna be, we'll probably start at 10 in the morning, or 10:30, and so everyone has a chance to play, or to look at it, talk about whatever, and then at noon we'll eat, and probably be done at 2. Everybody has a chance to play on it that day, and then June 2nd, we'll open it up to the public.
Motion to approve?
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Motion approved.
All right, number 5, consider act on approval of extending park hours at Veterans Park on Saturday, June 7th, 2025.
10 o'clock or what?
I don't even know, is there a special event that day?
Yes.
Yes.
I have no idea what that's about.
10 o'clock, okay, Becky? We'll extend hours till 10 p.m. Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved.
All right, consider act on approval to purchase a rototiller for the parks.
So I have to use my brother-in-law's rototiller. So my thoughts are, we have around 85,000 in our equipment fund. I just looked them up, they're around $3,500. I need it to do all the parks to get how we need them, how we need to get the grass and things like that. We hauled all the stumps out of there today, they're all gone, so we gotta get that worked up and whatever, there's a lot of picking there. And my thoughts are, is once we're done with it, we'll sell it. Once the parks are done, we'll sell it. We don't need a rototiller after that point.
Well, what if he wants to put a pumpkin patch in?
Well, I'll rototill it once and then you can hold it every year.
There you go.
So it's just the fact that I have to run and go and use somebody else's equipment that we don't own.
I seen you Sunday. Gonna go with a 6-footer?
7.
7?
That one's a 7. Yeah, because our tractor's 7
Are
feet
there
wide.
rentals available for rototillers?
Pardon me?
Rentals?
They're usually 5-footers, 4-footers.
So we're not
I
big.
checked into that.
So
By the
that's what
time
we're
you
doing
got
now,
done
renting
renting
one.
them, by the time you got done renting them to do all the parks, you'd probably spend more in renting than you would
And
to
plus the
buy.
time of getting it and back and forth and all that. Like I said, we don't need one once the parks are done, so then we can put it up for sale and recoup most of that money.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved.
All right, consider act on approval of sign placement in Veterans Park for Amvest Memorial Day Chicken Barbecue.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved.
That's all I got then.
All right, police and fire, Tim.
Monthly update for Redgranite Fire District. Well, I seen the boys out with the tanker, right in the middle of a fire call. So I know that's working, and they had 401 out, that was working pretty good too, so. We've had an enormous amount of rescue calls in the village. So, they're doing their job, doing a real good job. So, we'll move on to number 2. Discuss, consider, act on approval of closing a portion of the parking lot to the west of the fire station and Dearborn Street east from the driveway to the village hall to the southwest corner of the fire station from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Monday, June 2nd for the annual hose testing.
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved.
Monthly update, Kyle.
I submitted our reimbursement request to the state for training. We have the training completed for the 24-25 year. Roster's been accepted and we'll be getting $320 per officer. Checks will be distributed in November. Otherwise, just general patrol, getting ready for the quarry. We had a group up there last Wednesday and Thursday. My intention was to get the security trailer up this weekend, but that didn't happen because we were busy with calls all day. I'm gonna try to work on that maybe this week or next week, get it up there. I see the porta potties tipped over at Eastside Park. Can you get that up to the?
Well, that would be cleaned out because somebody evidently has been using it, so we put a padlock on it, so the way.
Oh, they used it for the Labor Day race or whatever, they set it down there.
Somebody's.
No, they've been using it during the week.
Yes, I can do that.
That's about it. Waiting for grant funding. I've been keeping an eye on that. I contacted Congressman Groveland's office, so I have a contact there, and hopefully if everything passes through Congress and the Senate and the CR bill is passed, it should open up the grant. So we'll be looking at the grant for a new squad, radios, equipment, and then also adding on to the police department. So we'll have to look at getting an engineer to draw, or architect to draw plans for that, and then applying for funds for that too. So that'll all be covered by grants and the U.S. government.
We're not gonna need a soil engineer over there, are we?
I don't know what's underneath here. I know they took a bunch of that peat out, and they put a bunch of sand in, but yeah, sand.
I don't know, you're right on the edge.
Yep. Otherwise, that's about it. We have a meeting with the prison on the 29th at the courthouse in Tacoma. We had a meeting, disturbance control meeting last month, went well. Met a bunch of people from the Department of Corrections not only work out here, but then our central office in Madison. Work with our local partners here with the EMS, the Sheriff's Department, Oklahoma Police Department, State Patrol, Army National Guard, and the hospitals in case there was ever an event out there. We kind of have lined up contact information, and we do it annually to make sure if people are still in charge of certain departments or not, keeping all that information updated. Matt's been working, so we're running later shifts now, so Matt's been working weekends till 10. That's about it. We got the speed trailer set up over on the east side of town. We had some problems with the batteries, but Matt got that fixed, so that's set up. The Sheriff's Department is requesting to borrow our trailer over in Lorville. They want to do a speed study on First Avenue. So I told them once we're done out here, we could take it over there for a couple weeks for them to get speed study information and help them determine what the speeds are over on First Avenue. They're looking at changing the speed limit on it, so that won't probably be till next month. Otherwise, just getting ready for the quarry and getting ready for the busy summer. We're still busy with prison cases. Caitlin's working very well. She came in, she's just about got us all caught up now, where we were lacking last fall. She's got just about all of our statements done, so she's keeping up with uniform crime reporting. There's some training coming up this fall that she'll have to go to because they're changing some of the parameters set by the FBI for reporting crimes in America. So she'll have to do some training on that, but it's working out really well. So.
All right, thanks, Kyle. All right, I take it this one's in reference to the village hall.
Yes.
Discuss, consider act on approval of alarm system and issuance of employee ID cards.
So we got the alarm set up with the Sheriff's Department. It's not, we've let them know we're going to register, but we're not live yet. They're a monitoring center. So what we have is set up is contact people to call in case the alarm's tripped. People to come and respond, or if employees come in and they trip the alarm by putting in the wrong code or setting the alarm and opening the door, we'll have protocols for that. We need to set up a time with Jeremiah, our alarm installer, to have an employee meeting, and he will go through the protocols for all employees on what you have to do if you trip the alarm. Because once we go live, then the alarm, when the alarm's tripped, if you don't get the protocols acted in time, they will call the Sheriff's Department and have officers respond here to check things out. And if your first alarm, false alarm, is free, after that, it's a series of fines that we get fined by the Sheriff's Department. It starts at $40, increases to $75, and $125, so we want to try to eliminate that. And then also, I know we don't have employee IDs, the police department does, but none of the village employees. So I'm looking into contacting emergency management at Al Lucchini. He makes our employee ID cards. I want to see if he can make some for the village. If he can't, there's outside vendors that have them, so that if the employees are in here and they don't realize they tripped the alarm, law enforcement comes in if they open a side door and come in and employees are here doing something. A lot of the officers don't know that we're village employees. You can have your village ID and say, yes, I'm so-and-so, I work here.
Makes sense.
So I got that on my list of things to do. So when I can clear some time off on my day, I'll get that done.
And do we want to include the sewer and water, Department of Public Works?
Everybody will have one.
Great idea.
Everybody will have one.
All right.
So,
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved. Sewer and water, Mark.
Monthly update?
That's you.
So, just been keeping busy, we almost got all our meters changed out for the year. Just knocking on doors, trying to get into the last few. Other than that, Brent's on vacation, so I'm kind of running solo for now. But keeping busy, kind of learning how to.
That's it?
Pretty much.
Thank you. Consider act on approval of invoice 86557 from Speedy Clean in the amount of $15.75 for televising the village sewer system.
What channel was that on?
Motion to approve.
This is good on TV.
We got a second? Okay.
These three.
Oh.
Sorry.
Got me all flustered here, sorry. Motion to approve, so. Yeah,
So we get a yes or no?
yeah,
Monthly update, Jim?
I just had a total brain fart, I'm sorry. It's been a long freaking,
All those in favor, say.
yeah, all in favor,
Aye.
opposed, motion approved.
I didn't mean to fluster you.
No, it was funny with the channel thing, I'm sorry.
That was Gary's fault.
All right, street sidewalks, ditches, Matt,
Got an update, Jim?
So, like Jeannie said on the parking lot, it's, there is a hole there, we're planning on going there tomorrow and filling in with limestone. I think what happened there is because when they come to, when they put in, graded the parking lot, you know, they use a vibratory roller, and if there's any void, any place there, it just opened up, so we're just gonna fill it in with gravel and see what happens from that point. There was a lot of stuff buried underneath there, they buried the old building. There was, like I said, there was stumps and a lot of granite. We gotta take a lot of that stuff out of there. Right now, there's about a foot of 3/4 inch limestone crusher run in there. So for the proper maintenance, you're looking at 30 years before you have to touch that parking lot again with proper maintenance. So, so it was a little bit more than what we had figured, but everything is fine. So they're gonna be they called me, says they will come, right now the binder's down, and they'll be doing the top coat on Wednesday, weather permitting. There can't be any water, it can't be damp or anything when they put the second coat on, so we'll see. But it should be done, then we have to stripe it and put in a handicap zone, and then we can open it up, and we'll probably have to leave it shut for probably 3 days without any traffic on it, just because it'll be a little soft, and we want it to cure up, so that's what's going on there. That's all I have for an update.
All right, thanks, Jim. Number 2, discuss, consider act on parking issues on Pine River Street.
Yeah, I strongly suggest making it only parking on one side. I was gonna go out and measure because it seemed like the line was off to one side more than the other. Maybe it's just the way I look at it, but I strongly encourage the board to just have parking on one side. I know there's people that quit parking their driveway that don't, so that might help alleviate some of that. But I would make the measure the center line and make sure that it is in the center. And if we are gonna go through with parking on one side, of course, we'll park on the side where it's the widest.
Can you table this till next month then?
What do you, is there a reason we wanna wait, or?
He's gonna measure it and we'll put it on the parking.
Well, the only thing we'd have to figure out is which side we're moving it to, so are we gonna do it or not? I would suggest we do it because it's causing a lot of problems.
We're gonna move it to the east side, didn't we?
Motion to approve it
I'll second
for
it.
parking on only the widest side.
Second.
Your second? All right, so, motion to approve. And all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is approved. Number 3.
Consider act on approval of invoice 03-13392 from Family Equipment Sales LLC in the amount of $3,200 for gravel for road repair at the mobile home park. And
I'm sorry, did you finish?
yeah, you're good now.
Okay, as a lot of people know, the mobile home park that was uneven there
was
Yeah.
terrible.
What is
So
the
we're
right
trying to get it
one?
ready for
Change the last
pulverizing
two
when
to a 9.
when they go and do.
So it's 9-9?
Yep,
On it.
339.
Cumberland, that was just some there we had on the turnaround.
Oh, so the
that
2
I,
isn't there?
put down.
2 is a 9. Right here.
Yeah, so the 2 is gone.
Oh, okay. Yep, it is.
That invoice number is incorrect, Matt. The correct invoice number is 031339.
No two.
No 2. All right, so did we,
I think he was talking about Cumberland Road, or was gonna start talking about it, but. We good to go on the gravel?
It'll be Cottonville. So anyways, so that's, some of that is just to get it prepped for pulverizing. So right now, the parking lot is around 20 grand, 3 grand worth of gravel. I had about $1,500 with the county coming in and do some work there because we were unable to do it. We had $3,200 for the, and then we had $3,200 for the gravel, so we have around $30,000 left in our street outlay state aid budget yet. And then there's gonna be $16,000 of that taken out for the gravel for Cottonville. So we're still sitting with money ways.
Motion to approve. Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion motion is approved. Ma'am, did you have a question? Hold on one second. Are we gonna open the floor up for her to speak quickly?
Motion to open the floor.
I'm sorry, and I'm too
Second.
late, but I thought I wasn't supposed to speak, so that's why.
That's all right, well, we can open the floor for you briefly if you would like us to,
Very
so.
quickly, in regard to the Pine River Street, does it come all the way, sense of direction, south to the light?
I think it's just north of
Or are you
Water Street.
referring to the part that's residential?
The part that's residential, more or
Okay,
less.
then I don't have a question.
Basically, what we were talking was like from where Veterans Park's, north of there.
Okay, because my question was, people like me, right now, if you have to use the laundromat, and I don't know if you're referring to the east side or the west side, whichever one's widest, but it'd be really cool if you could leave parking by the laundromat.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
that's all gonna
Okay.
stay. Yeah,
Okay,
that
was
section from the
There
stop
we
and
go.
go light to the, Civic Center,
there we go.
that's gonna stay the way it is. But then from the Civic Center that way, we're gonna make it one side.
I guess I don't know where the Civic Center is.
Right next to Veterans Park.
The white building on the left side when you're going out towards the prison.
Oh, okay.
Okay? All right. Thank you for your question.
Okay.
All right, miscellaneous business. Consider act on approval of hunting committee's recommendation for Kevin Schmidt.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is approved. Consider act on approval of temporary Class B retailer's license for AmVets Post 13 effective May 26, 2025 at Veterans Park from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved. Consider act on approval of a provisional operator's license effective May 20th, 2025 through June 30th, 2025 for Natasha Hines, the barracks. Any issues?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved. Consider act on approval of provisional operator's license effective May 20th, 2025 through June 30th, 2025 for Jordan Truesdale Quick Trip, Inc.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved. Consider act on approval of a provisional license effective May 20th, 2025 through June 30th, 2025 for Melissa Zimmerman, the barracks.
She was referred to the police department for review. So, Kyle?
The only thing that there wasn't a police issue with it, it was a application issue. It states on the application here to list all traffic offenses and criminal offenses. Not all of her offenses were listed on the application. That's not up to me to enforce, that's up to the clerk and the board to enforce. It states right on there, if you don't list all that stuff, you're automatically declined on the application. So people just write one or two things, they don't complete the whole thing as they're supposed to, and that's not a police issue for me, that's for the clerk's office and the board to decide.
I'll make a motion to deny, she can reapply.
Second.
All in favor of denial?
Aye.
Opposed? Denial is approved. All right, items to be placed on next board meeting.
Shelter repairs. And estimates for a new building.
Want me to get you a drink?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, anything else?
Just fine.
You're all good?
Yep, drive around town a couple days and I'm sure we're gonna find a lot more to put on there.
All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved, second.
It is now 19:22, and we are adjourned.
Do you want,
Thank you, everybody.
please help yourself to some sausage and cheese.
Yes.